Welcome back to a CBB Talk. It's your boy Will Dickinson. We're here. New CBB Talk on a Tuesday. I'm sorry it wasn't yesterday, but I was busy. I tried to record, and the Wi-Fi just wasn't great either. And the connection was really bad. So I was like, okay, I'll just do it today. Put it out. Hopefully, I finish this in around 20 minutes. Put it out around 12. Anyways, I don't know why I'm tired. It's 11 o'clock. It's kind of embarrassing, but I've pretty much been watching like Family Guy all day this morning, which I guess it could be worse things you could be watching, but yeah, I've been really in the Family Guy recently. So Cool Whip. Sorry, that's my favorite thing Stewie says is Cool Whip. It's my favorite thing. Anyway, so yeah, I've been watching a lot of Family Guy, but let's talk about this weekend was supposed to be one of the best weekends in college basketball, probably the best one so far. And I don't think I don't think it disappointed. It lived up to the hype. I mean, the whole weekend sports did. I mean, as a guy who doesn't care about soccer at all, I probably watched 3 USA matches, and then probably like maybe 5 total matches in the World Cup, right? I watched 5 total matches in the World Cup, and that final was fucking amazing. And I don't know if I'll watch another soccer match till like if there's a female World Cup, maybe I'll watch that because USA might have a chance to win. But shit, that was pretty good. And then NFL was crazy too this weekend. But anyways, college basketball was super good. And let's start off at the top. We're gonna go in chronological order. And we'll start with Kansas over Indiana. I did have Kansas winning this game, and they didn't disappoint. They stomp all over Kansas. Grady Dick, 20 points. She's looked so good. A guy that Kansas lost 4 of their best players, 4 of their top 5 scorers last year. And Bill Self has proven that he is the best coach in college basketball, and his team's back to being one of the better teams in the country. Grady Dick, 20 points, and then 6 players in double digits total. They've been amazing. They lost that one game to Kansas where they didn't look good in Atlantis. Like they almost lost to Wisconsin. They played close game against NC State. And then finally they're getting back on track. These last couple games, and they take it to Indiana. Indiana has been just a little bit underwhelming. They've lost a couple games. They got blown out by Rutgers. Took an L. I just took this L by 20. They lost another game I can't really remember. Again, Trace Jackson Davis has been good, but I don't know if he's been as good as people have him coming in maybe first team All American. I don't know if he's at that level this year so far, and we'll see as Indiana gets into a tough Big Ten play. Well, every night you're playing a game, every night that you're playing, it's not a guaranteed win. So we'll see how Indiana is. They've been a little underwhelming. That's the 3rd loss of the year. They're still a team where they're top 25 caliber. They're still a team that you know, will be a threat in March for sure. Next up, Gonzaga. This is probably the biggest win of the weekend for our singular team. It was Gonzaga who coming into this game, people were not sure how legit the Zags were. Lost 3 games this year, all close ones. To Baylor. To who is God? When you try to do this off the top of your head, it's really tough. They lost to Baylor. See, dude, I don't even like this is why I should not be doing these right off the bat because I cannot remember who Gonzaga's lost this year. Baylor. I'm gonna be so mad when I see this. At Texas and then neutral to Purdue. So that they beat Kentucky. So again, these were not all bad losses, but I mean, besides Kentucky, they didn't have a great win. And this one, they're pretty much going to Alabama, playing in Birmingham. Pretty much a road game, technically neutral, and they, didn't get off to a good start. But they came out and played really well in that second half. Drew Timmy's best game of the year. The guards started playing better. They kind of outplayed Alabama's guards, which was a real reason they won. Let's talk about Brandon Miller real quick. Because this dude is insane. He is he's this year's Jabari Smith, but might be better. In this loaded draft class, he's behind Webby and Scoot, and then you can put him in that 3 slot. If this was last year, Brandon Miller would probably be the first pick in the draft. He's been that good. He's so long. He's going to be a good defender. He's just young, so he hasn't learned it yet. But you can see he can get in the passing lanes, such long arms, and his shot is really well. He can score everyone on the court. 36, 34 points against Gonzaga. He's living up, and way more than Alabama thought he was going to be. And this dude has been the best freshman in the country and arguably All-American first-team player this year. And Gonzaga's back up in that elite category where, again, they could go undefeated in the WCC and be up there for a 2 line. Probably not a 1 this year, but definitely a 2. Arguably, if they go undefeated for the rest of the year, they could definitely be in that 1 line. But again, way too early to say. A disappointing one on Saturday for me is Virginia taking an L to Houston. Virginia starts off really well. I think it was 9-0 start. I'm feeling good. Houston calls a timeout. They come out, and Virginia's offense goes cold like it does. Again, Reese Beekman definitely wasn't 100% after that hammy. He just wasn't himself out there. Only 4 points from him. He played good defense on Marcus Sasser. Sasser did hit some big threes in the first half. But the real star for Houston was Jarris Walker, the freshman. This dude looked like a man. He's only 18, 19 years old, but he looked like a full adult man, just going against him as a kid. If they had Jane Gardner on him, he was shooting over him, making tough shots. We knew Houston was super good. Again, I said when we were doing the Sweet or Beat segment last week, I said I'm not worried about Houston. I'm very confident they'll be there again this year. They're the favorites to win the rest of their games. Not saying they will win the rest of their games, but if you look right now, they were the favorite to win every single game until Selection Sunday, which they probably won't. They probably won't. But if they can go with 1 or 2 losses, and finish the year with 3 losses, they'll probably be a 1 seed. In Virginia, we'll talk about them later because they have a big game tonight at 8:30. They need that, but the Star offense was a little up and down. We'll see how they play this week. Let's talk about another team who got a massive win was North Carolina. Pete Nance hits a turnaround jumper at the buzzer to force OT, and then UNC kind of dominates overtime to get a win in the CBS Sports Classic against Ohio State. Armando Bacot got off to a slower start, and in the second half, he looked like that guy we thought he was going to be coming the year. He had double-double, 27 points, was really the star out there. And then, that play, Leaky just throws it all the way over. Nance gets it, turn around, make. Ohio State looked good. Again, Bruce Thornton, the freshman. Zed Key had a really good game. Oh, was it Callahan, I think, that hit the shot to go up to give him the chance to win? Could have been the game winner. It's not. My opinions don't change about Ohio State. I wasn't so sure that they were going to be a contender in the Big Ten, but they're still a good team. And that was a huge win for UNC. You don't want to drop to 5 losses already. That really puts you in the hole. People already want UNC to be ranked again. I'm not there yet, but they're on the way there. They got to keep winning as they get into ACC play. Just keep winning the games you should, and you'll get games against Duke and Virginia to prove your rank. The second game of the CBS Sports Classic was not as good, even though it's the more hyped up game. Was UCLA just gets a win. Big games: Jalen Clark, Jaime Jaquez, Tiger Campbell. That trio played really well. Amari Bailey didn't. The freshmen Bona and Bailey did not even need to have a good game. UCLA gets it done. They go on the East Coast trip, beat Maryland, beat Kentucky, go 2-0, and they're where I'm at. I thought UCLA was going to win that game. I thought UNC was. I doubt the Virginia run. I thought Gonzaga was. I thought Kansas was, and I thought Arizona was. So I went 4-1 in my main picks, which that's really good. And again, my Virginia pick was a homer pick, so I'll accept it. But that might not have been my most educated pick. But yeah, UCLA looks really good. Kentucky's just been underwhelming this year. Sheway hasn't been what he was last year, and then the others just there's nothing. Casey Loss has been up and down. He really struggled. Chris Livingston finally had probably his best game. Savio Wheeler's been Jacob Toppin hasn't taken a step. CJ Frederick, So Kentucky's going to get there. They're going to have their chance in the SEC. You got Mississippi State, who's undefeated. Tennessee, good team. Auburn, we'll see where they're at. Arkansas, good team. The SEC is really tough. Alabama, really good team. So Kentucky's going to have a chance to prove where they're at. But right now, it's tough to say if Kentucky's up at the top of the SEC. We'll see where they go. And then Arizona, the offense prevails over the D. The Zona big man, Tubelis and Ballo combined for almost 40 points together, and they give Tennessee problems and win. Tennessee allows 70 points, which, if they allowed that, I would have said they lost, and they did. Tennessee, Ziegler puts up 20 off the bench. I think he might need to get into a starting role because he's led them in scoring the last couple games off the bench. And at some point, you gotta put him in the starting line. Maybe he plays better off the bench, and you're giving him starter minutes, but you want to go off to hot starts. You might want to start Zakai Ziegler because he's been really good this year. Tommy Lloyd's lost like 5 games in 2 years so far as the coach of Arizona. Already one of the better coaches in college basketball. This Arizona team is probably the best team in the Pac-12. Them and UCLA. It's going to be a 1-2 race there. You got Arizona State's a solid team. Again, I think New Year's Eve, Arizona will play Arizona State. That's a huge game. Just for the state of Arizona, see who's the better team, but also to see if Arizona State is legit. We can go over some other Saturday games. We'll see how they were. So I'm just trying to get to the page till it gets the freaking page. See if there's anything else that was actually we're talking like Rutgers gets a blown out when Missouri takes down UCF. Takes down UCF. Which is a big win for them. Missouri still only has one loss to that Kansas team. I'm going through that list, seeing nothing so far. South Carolina lost to East Carolina. Wow. Gigi Jackson should have went to UNC, my guy. Yeah, you definitely should have. Florida State got destroyed, but St. John's is 11-1 this year. That's the team to know in the Big 12. They're a good team. We'll see. I'm not sure if they actually have any great wins. I think they lost to Syracuse. No, they did win the Battle of New York. Oh, I didn't realize that Mississippi State only won by 2 points over Nicholas State. That's somewhat notable. Seeing if there's anything else on the Saturday slate, like Villanova got a win over St. Joe's. UNLV did drop their first game of the year, so that's one less. And Virginia lost, so I think there's down to 6 unbeatens left in college basketball. Of course, UConn rolls. My opinion, the best team in the nation. I think that's a fair thing to say. They've been super good this year. You've just seen them really just come out every night and dominate their opponent. Sanogo is probably the best player in the Big East. Again, I'm excited for Big East play because they're going to have to play tough games a lot. Again, whether it's a Providence team or Villanova or a St. John's or again, they beat Butler. Now I thought Butler would be a tougher team in the Big East. Creighton's still going to be good. We'll see where they can rank in the Big East. Texas got another dub over Stanford pretty easily. And then I believe that there were some other interesting games on Sunday. Like what I thought was Auburn was going to lose. So really 5-1 to my picks, because I did say I believe that Auburn's going to go to LA and lose, which they did. It was a close game. Auburn didn't have the lead at half. USC pulls out. Boogie Ellis was amazing. 28 points for Boogie Ellis. Jeez. Again, I'm not high on this Auburn team. I don't know if they're how good they really are. Just not a fan of them. I've been saying this. I don't know how they still got ranked. I don't think they deserve to be ranked. I know they're 9-2, but not in my opinion, they would not be in my personal ranks. And then Baylor actually barely beat Washington State there, and then Iona did lose to New Mexico. The Pitino, I forgot to say that, but the Pitino, Rick Pitino, his son, Richard Pitino, they did play against each other, and the son, Richard, pulls out the win. New Mexico still undefeated. Won the final up there with Purdue, UConn, New Mexico, Utah State, Purdue, New Mexico, UConn, Utah State. Is that it? That might be it, honestly. Yeah, I think that's it. Is it 4? Is it 5? I don't know. There was nothing on Monday. Literally nothing on Monday. And then today there's a couple, interesting games. There is really the big one is Virginia at Miami. Miami is actually Virginia's 3.5-point favorites. This is a huge one for Virginia. They gotta bounce back win going on the road to Florida after losing a tough one to Houston at home. This Miami team's really good. Again, my most underrated team with Isaiah Wong, Nigel Pack, Miller. This team is just full with guys that proven themselves in college basketball. We'll see if I'm kind of nervous for Virginia on this one. I'll be watching because I think this is a game where they could definitely lose if they, again, a little hangover game. Oh, I forgot about Marquette in the Big East. Marquette is definitely there. They play Providence. That's a very good game. Providence is actually 1-point favorites at home. Marquette's been pretty good. They're ranked again. Again, they have big wins this year. Both teams are 9-3. This is a early Big East battle, and then UConn plays Georgetown, which is an easy win. Duke goes on the road to Wake. Watch that. That could potential upset alert there. Mississippi State Mississippi State's an undefeated team. Mississippi State will try to stay undefeated against Drake. I'm not sure if I will have a video tomorrow, so I'll talk about some of the Wednesday games, like Auburn playing Washington. Again, another West Coast trip for Auburn. Can they stay out of 3 losses in a row? Arizona State's playing on the road against San Francisco. Watch that. San Francisco ended UNLV's undefeated streak. Can they upset Arizona State at home? And then, again, that's really it. TCU goes on the road, I believe, to play Utah. I'm not sure if it's actually on the road, but it's in Utah, so I'm assuming it's on the road. Watch that game. Utah's is the only team to beat Arizona this year. TCU has been better since their early struggles in the season. I'm still a believer in TCU, but just watch that game for any upset. But really that, again, this has kind of been a dry week. It gets better later in the week. Actually, a game that's on Wednesday is because I was just looking at top 25, so really that's not fair because I know that UNC plays Michigan on Wednesday, and that's a really good game. Yeah, it's a really good game. Both those teams, again, have been a little underwhelming this year. Both teams, unranked. This is in Charlotte Hornet Stadium, Spectrum Center in Charlotte. So technically a neutral game. We'll have a lot of UNC fans there. A big game for Michigan. Hunter Dickinson versus Baycott. Can Michigan get a much needed statement win this year? And if Carolina wins this game, yes, I'll consider them to be ranked again. But I'm not guaranteeing that that if North Carolina wins, that they will be ranked. Notre Dame plays Florida State. That should be a Notre Dame win if they want to keep, avoiding losses that will go as like a quad 2-3, probably a quad 3 loss. You don't want any of those. When you look deeper in the year, meaning like, oh snap, they have a quad 3 loss. That's the reason they're not in the tournament. And USC plays Colorado State. Colorado State's definitely trying to be a tournament team this year. But yeah, a little dull week. Great Saturday, great sports week. Let's not talk about how the NFL might be rigged because the Commanders lost. You see those refs? Those are I think those refs were just I don't know. I can't even talk about it. I don't want to go on a rant right now. But yeah, really just that's it. Nothing else really on the slate for college basketball this past week. Again, great Saturday of games. The week's going to get better later in the year. Later this week. Another good Saturday on Christmas Eve. So I'll try to have an episode either out on Thursday. We'll see Thursday if I get probably an episode out, and then if I'll do 2, if it depends on the game load. But definitely we'll look out for another episode this week. Thanks for watching. Again, Virginia needs to pull out this win tonight. Try to avoid 2 losses. People start saying we're frauds. I don't like when people see saying we're frauds. So yeah, that's it. Shout out to Clemson. Pretty cool college. All right. Peace out. Love y'all. Well, I just said y'all. God, love you guys.